Hi guys, in this video we're covering attached, and I'm gonna go over my very simple and concise takeaway from this. Three attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, and secure. And I'm gonna give you how they think. Anxious, they think of relationship in a way where they only have one person, one mold, and if they find that person, they get really attached to them, and they feel anxious if they feel even the slightest distance from this partner. And they always think, am I good enough? What if they leave me? Oh my gosh, they haven't responded back to my, they get really anxious if there's a sort of distance between them and their partner. And there are times when they doubt themselves as a good partner in a relationship or good enough for the relationship. And they idolize and put their partner on some kind of pedestal. Now, that's the negative, but the positive is if they meet a partner that can make them feel at ease, make them feel very loved, appreciated, and close, although it's going to take a lot more effort, time, and attention than it would take to satisfy the attachment needs of a secure or an avoidant type. If you can satisfy the attachment needs of an anxious type, you'll get a very loyal and devoted partner. So that's the anxious. Then there's the secure. This is a very, like I just say, a simple attachment type where if the person is receiving love and affection, they reciprocate that and they feel closer with their partner, just like an anxious type. However, with them, they don't idolize or pedestalize a partner thinking, oh, this is the one, there's only, and if I mess this up, like I won't be able to find another one. They see relationships as, okay, there are a lot of fish in the sea. If this doesn't work out, I'll eventually find a loving partner that will stick with me. Now, I'm gonna pedal back to anxious. Anxious types find it hard to break out of a relationship, even if it gets toxic, because they get very codependent on the love and attention of their partner, and they really kind of desire that, and they believe that their partner will change if they put enough time and attention to the partner. We'll get into the anxious avoidant attachment type or trap later, but I mean that's something I wanted to put out there because they will really try to stick it out even in toxic kind of relationships. With secure, they know what they want, and if they don't get that sense of feeling loved and they're not satisfied, well, they'll find it very easy to move on and eventually find someone that is reciprocative in that love, where they can feel that love growing in a relationship and like a cycle, give and take. With avoidant, they're more so they want affection, but they also highly value their sense of independence. And if they feel that the person is getting a little too close to them, they'll want to keep that person at arm's length to get back their sense of independence. They don't particularly care. Well, they care, but like it's not to the point where they feel like they're responsible for their partner's emotions. They feel that it's their partner's responsibility to manage their own mental health. So that's one thing about an avoidant that would really bug in an anxious type. Now, the anxious avoidant trap that I was referring to, in some case studies in the book of people that been in relationships, the anxious avoidant trap is really deadly because there's a story of a girl and she meets a really nice guy. He's a secure type, but she doesn't feel quite attracted to him because he makes her feel like she's above him because he's so affectionate. So she eventually finds an avoidant type of guy, and it's this love-hate relationship where she is given some attention and love and intimacy, but then when they get to a point where it feels like they can go on to the next level, he pushes her away kind of have this cycle of on and off, but she's so like addicted to that feeling because she mistakes that feeling of burning emotions, like highs and lows, as love. Because this guy triggers her in a way where she feels strong emotions of love when they're together, and low emotions of just feeling down when they're away from each other. She mistakes that as love, whereas it's simply a high dopamine and dopamine withdrawal. Whereas in a secure relationship, although it's not this roller coaster ride of emotions, it slowly kind of plants its seed and then escalates and escalates and escalates into a long lasting sustainable love that is grown with care, without the erratic ups and downs of just headbutting and wanting to be close and then pushing away and wanting to be close and pushing away. So these are kind of parallels that attached really gets into. And I get it. Like, there's this saying that nice guys finish last, and the bad boys always get the baddest girls. And it made me think of that archetype being placed on the anxious avoidant trap, right? And you could flip it on the other side too, where the guy wants a relationship and the girl is like so avoidant, and they're like on and off, and it triggers this. It goes both ways. At the end of the day, it's the key message here is like, okay, do you want an avoidant person in a relationship who will trigger your emotions in a way that will give you these highs and lows of closeness and pushing away and erratic feelings? And will people realize that that's not love? It's just a push-pull triggering tug of war, and that real love is a respectable love where there's constant loving, and the more loving a person is, the more reciprocating they are of that love, and from there more growth. Because although that sounds like common sense, it's not particularly common practice, right? Some girls and guys, right, I'm not gonna put a gender on it, will find secure people who want to give a lot of love boring, because there's no highs and lows in the growth of the relationship. There's only a linear or slow at the beginning exponential growth in the love. So that's like the greatest takeaway from Attached. It's honestly know your worth, and you should be able to identify the traps when it comes to anxious avoidant trap and the green flags for a long-lasting potential relationship. Yeah. So that's a takeaway from Attached. It's a great book. I recommend it. I really kind of dulled down the content into this less than 10-minute video because they really have a lot, and they get into very detailed, case studies of people's relationships. Some psychologists shares in their profession on the science of attachment. So great book. Thank you for watching. Peace out.